Honorable Minister for State for Communications, Education and Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, Shri Sanjay Shamrao Dhotre, Secretary ER, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, Mr. Rahul Chabra, senior government officials from India and Africa, industry leaders and friends. I welcome you to India Telecom 2021 being organized by TEPC, Telecom Equipment and Services Export Promotion Council. TEPC has been set up by the Government of India to promote and develop export of telecom equipment and services. India Telecom since 2009 is organized every year. Buyers from all over the world are invited to grace the occasion. TEPC has created this platform to connect overseas buyers with quality-conscious Indian telecom equipment manufacturers and ICT services solution providers. The event has had great success with business conducted and long-term relationships formed. In the light of the pandemic, the expo had to go virtual this year. Dedicated to keep the momentum going, we are excited to welcome the exhibitors, delegates and visitors to this annual event. To start the program, I call upon Mr. R.K. Pathak, DDG International Cooperation, Department of Telecommunications, Government of India. We are fortunate to have Mr. Pathak as Secretary TEPC. Mr. Pathak is BE Honours Electrical and MTech in Power Electronics. Mr. Pathak, over to you.
Namaste from India. Honorable Minister for State for Communications, Education and Electronics and IT, Mr. Sanjay Dhotre Sahab, Mr. Rahul Chabra, Secretary ER, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, Ms. Anita Praveen, Additional Secretary Telecom, Department of Telecommunication, Government of India, Mr. Shyamal Ghosh, past Chairman TEPC, virtually connected industry captains, delegates, press and media, ladies and gentlemen. I feel humble, it's my privilege and pride to be associated with this event since its inception. This is for the first time that we are doing this event in virtual mode for the benefit of our friends from all over the world, a digital platform for business development. Very warm welcome excellencies, dignitaries and invited industry captains to India Telecom 2021 15th edition, and thank you all for your participation. Though it is virtual, during such challenging times and restrictions as the world moves to a new normal scenario, the need of our is to move ahead and shift our focus and create platform for the industry so that they can do business and sustain this in this tough time as well. This is required for the betterment of people and countries too. India Telecom acts as a platform to showcase our global leadership in innovation, design, talent and so many other parts of ecosystem. Let me share that very business model for delivery of communication services being offered across the globe has largely been developed in India. So, one can say that India is the design house for the world, be it telecom or IT products. This event will provide an excellent platform for participating Indian and global companies to showcase their ICT products and services. Understand more about the digital goals of each country, because we have to share our experience and learn how they can support each other through close cooperation and mutual benefit. Let me share that there are 40 online exhibitors, more than 30 countries who have shown interest in participation in this important digital event, more than 100 CEO CTO level participation from across the globe. There are 5 structured conference sessions as well. So, we have on the table a lot for our business leader during the next 2 days, 3rd and 4th March. The telecom sector has witnessed significant growth as a result of key reforms and initiatives undertaken by the Government of India. Presently, these initiatives have facilitated creation of infrastructure and investment in the sector, which has led to social, economic growth of all citizens, improved rural digital connectivity, achieved near universal coverage of telecom services. India has become the second largest smartphone market globally, This growth is fueled by increasing affordability of smartphones, adoption of internet and data services in urban and rural India. Let me stress rural India. So, we have lot of experience in connecting rural areas which we can share with our participating leaders. The rise of mobile applications in regional language, that is also another initiatives in India, that the mobile applications are in regional languages. It is for their inclusive growth, and we have brought together the entire country together in the digital dividend. This also aligns with the DOT's effort to ensure mobile connectivity in all villages, that is the smallest unit in our rural India. Thus, we have a lot to share our experience in creating such large digital infrastructure and also delivery of services till last person. The Government of India acknowledges your active participation and your collective determination to strengthen our engagement in digital partnership for digital economy in your country. So, it is not India, but we all will benefit by sharing each other's experience. I congratulate TEPC, the organizers, for bringing together distinguished participation investors in this virtual event. I wish to thank organizers, TEPC along with their members. Namaste from India, and thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Pathak. Next, I invite Mr. Kamendra Kumar, Co-Chairman TEPC and Director Technical TCIL, to deliver the introductory remarks. Shri Kamendra Kumar obtained his engineering degree in 1982 from IIT Roorkee and also did an executive management course from IIM Lucknow. He has 35 years of techno-commercial experience and a variety of exposure with government and private MNCs. Let's hear from Mr. Kumar.
Honorable Minister of State for Communications, IT, Electronics and Education, Secretary Economic Relations, Ministry of External Affairs, Additional Secretary Communications, distinguished foreign delegates from various countries, senior government officials from Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of Communications, my TEPC colleagues, various participants and the members of the telecom fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. I express my thanks and gratitude on behalf of TEPC and share my views in the opening ceremony of such an important event, that is Telecom, India Telecom 2021, organized by TEPC with the support of Department of Commerce and Department of Telecommunications, Government of India. Like every year, TEPC has been organizing this important event. This year, due to COVID pandemic, we have organized the event virtually, inviting all the stakeholders to participate and fulfill their dreams. The main objective of the event is to provide opportunities to Indian telecom equipment manufacturers and the service providers to meet the overseas buyers, make them aware about the technologies, manufacturing capabilities of India, and to establish a new business relationship, especially in the areas of telecom equipment manufacturing, telecom services and telecom consultancy. In this event, more than 40 companies are showcasing their strengths, and we are pleased to host the delegates from about 77 countries from the world. The strengths of Indian equipment manufacturers, system integrators, service providers and other stakeholders in the telecom domain will also be showcased during the event. Through this platform, India's cutting-edge technologies, innovations and affordable solutions, including the startups, are offered to our development partner nations to speed up their digital transformation. This event will be the catalyst in promoting the schemes launched by the Government of India, such as Make in India, Make for the World, Atmanirbhar Bharat, PLI scheme, Startup India. TEPC has also a great role to play in promoting the telecom industry, including MSMEs and the startups for the country's exports. TEPC is also committed to support MSME sector, in particular bringing the new markets for them for the prospective exports, which will play a vital role in the economic development of the nation. During the event, we shall be conducting the conferences from Indian Standard Time 12:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and the exhibitions and B2B meetings round the clock, keeping in mind the sensitivity of different time zones. In the various interactive sessions for 2 days, topics such as the critical role of policy in creating competitive telecom markets, connectivity and smart devices, developing a practical strategy for deployment of 5G, transforming the digital economy, bridging the digital divide in rural and emerging markets. India telecom market is the fastest growing in the world with the second largest subscriber base. Rapid growth of the sector has fueled the demand for the telecom equipment. The large domestic demand can be leveraged by domestic companies to create innovative, high quality products and the solutions that not only meet the needs of the highly competitive Indian market but also addresses the global market. Let us get united and work as a team to make this industry progressive and prosperous. I extend my best wishes for a successful event enabling various stakeholders to have their takeaways from the completion of this event. Through this platform, we assure our firm commitment in providing the best technology products and the services at an affordable and competitive price. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar. It is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Sandeep Agarwal, Chairman TEPC, to deliver the introductory remarks. Mr. Agarwal is the Managing Director and Promoter of Paramount Communications Limited, one of the largest cable manufacturers in India. He has done economics honours from Sri Ram College of Commerce, Delhi University, after which in 1986 he joined his company, then Paramount Cables. Mr. Agarwal, over to you.
Welcome everybody on behalf of Telecom Equipment and Services Export Promotion Council, TEPC. It is my pleasure today to welcome you all to our flagship event, India Telecom 2021. Scheduled for the next 2 days, March 3rd and 4th, 2021. I welcome you all on this promising platform. TEPC is an apex body for promoting and development of export and telecom equipment services, including turnkey equipment installation services, telecom operations and maintenance services, hardware and software, telecom network management services, and telecom consultancy services. This event is supported by Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Telecommunications, and Ministry of External Affairs. The first Indian telecom event was organized in 2009. And since then, TEPC has been regularly organizing this event and inviting our foreign dignitaries and guests and buyers from different parts of the world. TEPC has created India Telecom to bring potential buyers from across the globe and quality telecom equipment manufacturers and ICT service solution providers from India under one roof and interact to finalize business deals. Event is likely to develop long-term business relationship between our foreign buyers and Indian vendors. During COVID-19, we have seen the important role ICT has played. We could sustain with the help of ICT. Organizations are promoting working remotely. There have been an exponential rise in video calls, phone calls, and people are organizing meetings via apps or collaboration platforms. Digital media and over-the-top content players are also benefiting, while virtual private networks, VPNs, cybersecurity, data security, and other technologies have seen a surge as most workforces are working remotely from home. Dignitaries, excellencies, and friends. The information and communication technology ICT sector has seen a major driver for economic growth of the world, including India. Today, India has all the ingredients of a globally competitive economy. Large domestic market, world-class talent, focus on R&D and IPR creation, and a robust framework for electronic manufacturing. Indian manufacturers are already made significant strides in export of IT and telecom products to several countries and established that Indian IT and telecom products are of world-class quality and are globally competitive on both technology and price. More important, India believes in Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The world is one. Therefore, the Indian industry never tries to take benefit out of our foreign buyers. We work like a family for the benefit of all the members of the family. The Indian partners bring you only technology, manufacturing skills at the best price in the world, unlike many other friends from other countries who also bring in intrigue in the country. Data theft and taking over of the country's assets have been found a normal occurrence. I can assure all my foreign buyers here that Indian government has never thought that to be a valid option. The growth of a viable SME segment in India and in our friend countries is fundamental to the long-run sustainability of the ICT sector. If you are looking for a secure ICT products, you have to rely on Indian products. Our industry is eager to share know-how and know-why. India holds the distinction of being the fastest growing telecom economy in the world. We will be a $1 trillion telecom economy by 2025 or 2026. Indian telecom industry is making this possible with potential and hard working of manufacturers, exporters, and service providers who have rigorously worked to produce world-class products and services and use the best technology and provide the highest quality at the competitive price. This vision of knowledge-based society is built on an edifice where IT and communications merge. Rapid technological convergence has already established a symbiotic relationship between the development strategies of IT and telecommunications. IT flourishes on the telecom network and in turn permits modern day telecommunications to use sophisticated IT software. The exponential growth witnessed by the telecom sector in the past decade has led to the development of telecom equipment, manufacturing, and other supporting industries. The Indian equipment manufacturing sector has come a long way in just a few years. From being an import-centric industry, it is slowly but steadily moving towards becoming a global telecom equipment manufacturing hub. The PLI scheme of Government of India has accelerated this growth. This is going to help not only the Indian buyers, but also all our foreign buyers who have come here to meet and discuss. With efforts from both government and industry, India can build a conductive ecosystem to both boost the equipment manufacturing sector, which can lead to the creation of an industry that will compete with the best of the world. I wish everyone participating in this event all the best and also wish for a great success of this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. We now welcome Mr. J.S. Deepak, former Secretary MeitY and DOT Government of India and former Indian Ambassador to WTO to give a special address on digital infrastructure. Mr. Deepak is an IAS officer with an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. He has a rich experience of working in Government of India, especially in economic ministries. He was also responsible for the promotion of export of various services from India. Mr. J.S. Deepak.
Chairman and members of the Telecom Export Promotion Council, dignitaries from government, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to address the India Telecom 2021 event of TEPC on the important subject of digital infrastructure, and I'm delighted to be here. India, as many of you know, started on the long, arduous, but exciting path of providing digital connectivity with a number of optical fiber projects of BSNL and defense networks. However, the BharatNet signaled the first major step in bringing broadband to the masses by taking optical fiber to Gram Panchayats. This brought the promise of high-speed connectivity, government to citizen services, as well as the benefits of e-education, telemedicine, and e-commerce to more than 2/3 of citizens who were not connected. But here success has eluded us, and a trigger is needed to remove the shadow between the vision of Digital India and its achievement. Again, with the advent of 5G, machine-to-machine communication, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, the role of state-of-the-art digital infrastructure becomes even more important. Fiberization of towers and homes is something which is required before we can enter into the realm of 5G. And all of this, the rollout of these new technologies requires a critical piece, which is digital infrastructure. In this context, I think it would be useful to look at the international experience and global best practices in the area, especially of those countries which are economies roughly of the same size of India, basically UK, Germany, Japan, and US. They spend almost 1 to 1.5% of their GDP on digital infrastructure. This translates to about $40 billion per year for the UK, 60 billion for Japan, again 40 billion for Germany, and a whopping 160 billion for the US. Typically, half of this amount is spent by the government, and this is an important point. Again, both Australia and China, who are again leaders in providing digital connectivity, broadband services, also spend about $45 per capita per year on digital infrastructure. Now, where do we stand in India compared to this? India spends about $13 billion annually on telecoms, of which about $2 billion is spent by the government. The total telecom investment translates to about 0.5% of India's GDP and a very small $2 per capita per year. While it is true that Indian telecom sector has grown largely through private enterprise, innovation, and investment, this model appears unsustainable in the future. With huge investments required to realize the vision of Digital India, BharatNet, and Ghar Tak Fiber, the government will have to play a much bigger role. A deep dive into the requirement of capital expenditure for digital infrastructure and benchmarking it with the digital ecosystems of the top 5 economies in the world suggests that India would have to spend much more than it does today. So this is a very important point I'd like to bring to your kind attention. The next issue is that the COVID pandemic has impacted government revenues, but even more significantly, there has been a deterioration over the last 2-3 years in the health of the telecom industry. And this makes things enormously challenging. The fall in telecom sector revenues, which started in 2017, we haven't caught up with that level yet. The sector has slipped into a quarterly net loss in the third quarter of financial year 2020. The gross capital investment, the gross fixed assets created, is now negative in the second half of 2020 compared to 35% in the corresponding period last year. So what I'm saying is that the telecom industry is in a difficult position and have to provide for expenses on the auction of spectrum and other things as well. So thus, I believe that if the private telecom companies, which continue to be by far the biggest providers of broadband through their mobile networks, can make investments to maintain and expand the networks to unserved areas and begin upgrading them to 5G in metros, that itself will be a big contribution. That being said, then what is the solution? There appears to be, unfortunately, no easy answer. Ramping up investment in digital infrastructure, however, appears to be a necessary condition. This is a challenge which we need to accept and something which we cannot postpone any longer. It is estimated that India will need about $35 billion of investment, upfront investment annually to be among the top 5 global digital economies. And this is obviously an amount which private players cannot do on their own. Such a large spend on digital infrastructure will also unlock faster growth and tens of millions of jobs. However, it will require an effective financing model as well as a strong implementation strategy. Coming to financing digital infrastructure could replicate the successful model of road infrastructure projects in India. This has been a success story. A mix of market borrowing using government bonds and securities, budgetary support, use of the Universal Services Obligation Fund, multilateral funding from the World Bank, and direct private equity investment could be the optimal financing vehicle. This could scale up the level of funding in a calibrated manner, lessen the pressure on the budget, and bridge the gap by attracting private capital, including from pension and hedge funds. A Government of India-led broadband infrastructure fund should be set up for this purpose, which could also seek public deposits by providing tax benefits to investors, as has been done in many countries, including Australia. This, to me, appears to be a viable approach, and according to the World Bank, digital infrastructure provides double the rate of return as compared to physical infrastructure. So it's a proposition which will pay for itself in the long run. While financing infrastructure is critical, its rapid rollout depends on a system of execution. After all, it's said that God is in the implementation. A key takeaway from the experience of BharatNet has been that we lack the basic elements of a robust project management structure to design, build, and operate a project of that size. A better approach appears to be to have an independent entity with expertise owned by the government that uses funds from a broadband infrastructure fund, builds state-of-the-art digital networks, and works on the business model of leasing out fiber and bandwidth to internet service providers. This model, which was pioneered by the UK and has been adopted successfully in many European countries, is something which we should look to replicate. Along with investing big and operating smart, and this is the last point I'd like to make, the government also needs to simplify regulations to speed up infrastructure deployment. Delays in getting right-of-way permissions for fiber network rollout has adversely impacted many projects in the past and are doing so at present as well. The right-of-way rules promulgated in 2016 were a useful first step, but the implementation has been patchy at the state level and even in some federal government departments. Therefore, as a first step, we need to make sure that right-of-way permissions must be given in a transparent and time-bound manner as provided in the rules with uniform standards for restoration charges, which cannot be made a source of revenue for local bodies and other authorities. This overcharging is something which needs to stop. Next step would be to have a common duct policy for all infrastructure to avoid repeated digging, and in urban areas especially, the requirement of cable ducts in buildings to make them eligible for completion certificate. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, a single window system for approvals where applications will be given in a portal and approvals got in time, and if not, deemed to be approved. That kind of a mechanism should be there. In conclusion, let me therefore say that once digital infrastructure is created, and I have tried to outline one possible strategy of doing so, the provision of last mile service delivery, if it is included as part of it, it becomes easy to provide services even over long distances to remote areas at almost no extra cost. This can help bridge the digital divide and provide access to quality services to far-flung and underserved communities. Thus, digital infrastructure can be almost like the incoming tide, which lifts all boats, which benefits everybody and creates economic growth and jobs in addition to providing services which the pandemic has shown e-services are extremely important in these trying times, and many of our brethren in rural areas do not have access to them. I think I'll stop there, and thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you, Mr. Deepak. I now invite Shri Shamal Ghosh, former Secretary DOT and MeitY and past Chairman TEPC, to brief us about the Indian telecom industry post-COVID-19. Mr. Ghosh was also chairman of the Data Security Council of India and the Broadband India Forum. He is known to be an able administrator and responsible for the implementation of the new telecom policy of 1999, drafting the Information Technology Act 2000 and proposing creation of Information Superhighway in India in 1997. Let's hear from Mr. Ghosh.
Welcome to the signature annual event of Telecom Export Promotion Council, where the telecom equipment manufacturers and service providers participate to show their capabilities in providing equipment and services as well as technology in the area of broadband, in the area of telecom backbone, in the area of telecom equipments. And this annual event is very successfully hosted by Telecom Export Promotion Council every year around this time. This year the unique feature is we are doing a virtual conference and an expo where large number of domestic manufacturers and startups are participating. And they will demonstrate their capability and interact on a one-to-one basis of establishing partnerships for going forward in this area. We, as you all know, have developed strong broadband infrastructure. And as a result of that, we are connected even to the remotest corner of our country with optical fiber related network. And this has been possible because we have some of the leading optical fiber manufacturers in the world in India who are leaders not only in the domestic front but also in the global front. So it is in keeping with our policy of be part of the global value chain. And that is the special feature where we have this international event where participants come from all over the world to see what we have, to interact with our members, and to promote partnerships for the future for equipment and services. We also provide end-to-end solutions and keep pace with the changes in technology. And our manufacturers are gearing up for the 5G challenge, for which test beds are starting and spectrum will be made available shortly. We also have the challenge of dealing with the virtual world. And in this regard, we have attempted a few earlier webinars and expos. For instance, we had a few months ago a very successful Africa Telecom with Rwanda being our partner country. And it encouraged participation of large number of manufacturers as well as startups from our side as well as from the host country and the neighboring country states of Africa. So we are moving forward because we have capability to provide end-to-end solutions. And I have been associated with Telecom Export Promotion Council as a chairman for the past 4 years. And it has been a very, very invigorating exercise where one had to meet the challenges of competition and also provide encouragement to our members to keep pace with march of technology. We have a membership of more than 100 and a large number of startups are also participating, and we will provide all the support that is necessary. For instance, work from home is becoming the new normal, and this would not be possible if we did not have a strong domestic infrastructure for broadband. And that's the reason why the steps that were taken in the past to provide broadband connectivity all over the country has become so useful and so relevant in the new normal environment. We expect the future partnerships to develop from this expo and seminar, and you will find all our leading manufacturers and some of the service providers and technology providers will also be present. In this connection, I would like to stress that we have developed technology, and one of our leading R&D companies, the Center for Development of Telematics, CDOT, is providing new technology and is also providing transfer of technology while hand-holding the operations of the new technology. So it is not that CDOT will just provide the technology. They'll provide the whole package, and it will help the receiving party to establish their own capability in doing this. You will hear from our leading manufacturers their capabilities over the next 2 days, and you will have opportunity to have one-to-one business appointments. The entire environment has been very imaginatively created to facilitate interaction and business deals to take the partnerships forward in a global value chain and environment. So I'm very happy that this signature event is taking place in spite of all the problems that are being faced all over the world. In fact, the infrastructure which has been provided has also come in very, very useful for the vaccination program, for dealing with all the issues arising out of this pandemic. And it is a boon to have manufacturers, infrastructure providers in the country. And we have two of the biggest manufacturers of optical fiber in the world in this country. They're not only providing fiber to the home and the homeland, but they are exporting also to and competing with the best in the world to provide fiber solutions. So I would strongly suggest that everybody should make use of this opportunity to develop further partnerships and make use of the capabilities of the startups who have put in a lot of effort to provide solutions of complex problems in network management and network facilities. This is the best time of the year to be in Delhi, but unfortunately this year we can't provide you the hospitality and the weather of Delhi because we were doing so far. Hopefully from next year we'll get into the physical environment and we'll have opportunity to not only work but also to do a little bit of play on the side. So let me wish you all the best and I hope you have a very happy and fruitful interaction at this webinar. All the best to you.
Thank you, Mr. Ghosh. A warm welcome to Ms. Anita Praveen, Additional Secretary, Department of Telecommunications, Government of India, to deliver the special address. Ms. Anita Praveen is an IAS officer of the 1989 batch of the Tamil Nadu cadre. At present, she has been working as an Additional Secretary in the DOT, Ministry of Communications. Ms. Praveen.
Namaskar. A very warm welcome to all dignitaries from government, industry, and startups. It is a pleasure to be part of this virtual event, India Telecom 2021, organized by the TEPC, with the support of Government of India. I'm happy to note that there are more than 40 exhibitors who will showcase on virtual platform and more than 100 distinguished dignitaries from industry who are looking towards India for cooperation in telecom and ICT products. The Indian telecom industry has witnessed exponential growth and has interfaced with different economic verticals. With significant advances in the telecommunication and software, India is poised to benefit significantly from harnessing the new technological growth and from this platform. These act as a catalyst for economic growth and development, generating employment and contributing towards socio-economic upliftment. Further, the vision of the government is to provide cutting-edge technology products to consumers to deliver next-generation services to all citizens. With massive thrust on Make in India and Make for the World and Digital India initiatives, a large opportunity for innovative products and services has been created. Digital India aims to bridge the gap between the government and citizens through information technology. I strongly believe India has vast experience in setting up of ICT infrastructure, and this experience can be leveraged by the government as well as private sector in other developing countries because we have similar problems. We are trying to make connectivity available to all and at the same time to make it affordable. India also holds the distinction of being the fastest growing telecom network. We have covered 95% of the populated area. This large telecom network equipment and technology that is second to none in the world. With this background, you can be assured that when you buy telecom products and services from India, you are assured of the best technology, highest quality, and competitive costs. The information and communication technology sector has been the major driver for the economic growth for the world and especially for India. Today, India has all the ingredients of a globally competitive telecom industry: large domestic market, world-class talent, focus on R&D and IPR creation, and a robust framework for electronic manufacturing. Indian manufacturers have already made significant strides in exports of IT and telecom products to several countries and established that Indian IT and telecom products are of world-class quality and are globally competitive on technology and price. The growth of a viable SME segment is fundamental to the long-term sustainability of the ICT sector. If you're looking for secure ICT products, you may completely rely on Indian products. The transformative power of ICT will help your industry and also your country. With our experience and expertise, it will be easier for you to achieve this target. I would like to state that India is wholeheartedly willing to extend all its support and share its low-cost technological development done by Indian R&D institutions for rural areas. Other experiences gained through its flagship programs of Digital India, Make in India, and Digital Identity with you. India is fully committed to share our ICT experience, expertise, and software skills with other countries in the developing world. I am optimistic that our ICT industry will be in the forefront of facilitating the ICT dreams of our citizens. I would like to congratulate and thank TEPC, the organizers of this conference and exhibition. I wholeheartedly wish the India Telecom 2021 a grand success. Thank you and namaskar.
Thank you, Ms. Praveen. Next, I invite and introduce Mr. Rahul Chabra, Secretary, Economic Relations, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. Mr. Chabra took over the post of Secretary Economic Relations, Ministry of External Affairs on 8th June 2020. Prior to this, he was High Commissioner to Kenya, Ambassador to Somalia, and Permanent Representative to the United Nations Environment Programme and the United Nations Human Settlements Programme in Nairobi from 2018 to 2020. Over to Mr. Chabra.
Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to India Telecom 2021. We are all cognizant of the manner in which the last 1 year has transformed the global commercial and economic landscape. This black swan event, COVID-19 pandemic, has sped up all of those structural and functional changes to the current socio-economic systems which were in the works over the last so many years. As the means of physical connectivity broke down, digital, virtual connectivity took over and allowed us to carry on with our day-to-day lives, fulfilling our essential needs, even when networks and supply chains across the world had come to a complete halt. The pandemic accelerated the digitization of our networks and services and has ushered in an era of greater digitization, digital connectivity, and virtual networking. Against this background, India Telecom 2021, organized by the TEPC, today gains greater significance, and particularly so as it has critical verticals which form the backbone of the digital world that we are moving into. Indian ICT exporters have a lot to offer with their advanced cutting-edge and affordable designs, IPRs, and end-to-end digital connectivity solutions. India, through its recently announced Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, is moving forward to position itself as the nerve center of global supply chains, and telecom goods and services are an important pillar of our strategy. The landscape for telecom manufacturing and services in India has dramatically shifted at the back of the enormous support, including the PLI scheme that is being provided by the government to the industry. The IT, telecom, and electronics industry in India is one of our fastest growing industries, and the government of India is targeting to become a $1 trillion digital economy by 2025, up from around $200 billion currently. This will require ramping up of our digital infrastructure, creating avenues for greater investments, and generating employment. The idea is not only to ramp up domestic manufacturing of telecom equipment, but to also share our expertise and experience with our developmental partner nations to help them ace their digital transformation. At our end, in the Ministry of External Affairs, we are working in coordination with the concerned line ministries to build upon our domestic successes in the telecom, electronics, IT, and ITES sectors in a structured manner and utilize the significant domestic capabilities that have been evolved and developed in the domestic government, public, and private sectors in executing similar digital platforms and e-governance initiatives in friendly and partner countries as part of our development partnership frameworks. We are undertaking pilot projects for promoting development of digital platforms, e-governance initiatives in friendly and partner countries as a prelude to making available such projects through development partnerships, commercial frameworks on a wider scale. We are also offering increased lines of credit to developing and LDC countries. The lines of credit are a form of a soft loan offered by India, under which 75% of the goods and services, including consultancy services, for the contract must be sourced from India. This indirectly helps our own manufacturers and exporters while creating development opportunities for the LDCs and developing countries. In the changed times and in the event of disruptions in our supply chains, countries around the world are looking at maximum diversification of their production and supply chains in the medium to long term, weaning away from extreme dependence on any one particular country. This offers us with an important opportunity. Developing India into a low-cost manufacturing destination will help us position ourselves as the preferred alternative to other countries and markets. India's democratic systems and high levels of transparency in governance are our prime assets, which are important to build investor confidence. Combined with ease of doing business, simplified labor laws, and easily accessible capital, India is a promising alternative manufacturing destination. We have to bank on our strengths and plug in the gaps wherever possible. We are hopeful that building on our capabilities and successes, we will be able to transform this moment of immense challenge into a series of opportunities and emerge as the nerve center of global supply chains. I congratulate the Telecom Equipment and Services Export Promotion Council for organizing this event and wish them all the best for future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chabra. It is my honor to invite Mr. Sanjay Shamrao Dhotre, our Honorable Minister for State for Communications, Education and Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, to kindly deliver the inaugural address. An engineer by training, a practicing agriculturist and industrialist, Mr. Dhotre has been active on social and political fronts for the last 4 decades. He has been a public representative, making his mark in fields ranging from academics to agriculture to new age technology. He has a keen interest to bring changes in the life of the common man by transforming agriculture. Let's hear from Mr. Dhotre.
Dear Excellencies, national and international guests, distinguished delegates, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome to all of you, including virtual participants, to this 2 days virtual international conference and exhibition India Telecom 2021, organized by Telecom Equipment and Services Export Promotion Council, that is TEPC. It is a pleasure for me to inaugurate another promising edition of India Telecom, an exclusive international business expo being organized by TEPC, where we all come together to strengthen our business relations. The government has been striving to fulfill Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Digital India, which will bridge the digital divide in the country by uniting urban India and rural Bharat, foster financial inclusion by making critical services available to everyone remotely, and provide connectivity to the very last mile. We have seen the power of connectivity during pandemic COVID-19. The sector has been the biggest contributor to fight coronavirus by leveraging digital technology and a coordinated global digital response to fight the pandemic. Excellencies and friends, India holds the distinction of being the fastest growing telecom network in the world. Indian telecom industry is making this possible with potential and hardworking manufacturers, exporters, service providers of India, who work rigorously to produce world-class products and services that use the best technology, providing highest in quality and at competitive tariffs. The ICT sector has been the major driver for the economic growth world over, including India. Today, India has all the ingredients of a globally competitive telecom industry: large domestic market, world-class talent, focus on R&D and IPR creation, and a robust framework for electronic manufacturing. Indian manufacturers have already made significant strides in the export of IT and telecom products to several countries. Indian IT and telecom products are of world-class quality and are globally competitive in technology and price. I strongly believe that the vast experience gained by Indian in setting up of ICT infrastructure can be leveraged by governments as well as the private business enterprises. This event is for sharing our ideas on innovation, our best practices, and also our common dreams which can make our people healthy and prosperous. Excellencies and friends, we have to work together to take this to new heights where remote and hilly areas will all be connected. In order to boost ITES, BPO industry in India, new guidelines for other service providers have been issued by which registration requirements for OSPs have been done away with altogether, along with several other compliances. This will promote work from home or work from anywhere in India. I would like to thank our visionary Honorable Prime Minister for completely opening up this sector. Now, you all can set up offices in India and work from anywhere. To support our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, and create employment opportunities for the youth, the government has announced production-linked incentive scheme for various sectors, including telecom sector, which will boost economic growth. This doesn't mean isolation, but in simple terms, becoming part of global supply chain. India offers improved investment climate, growing market, a large pool of talent and improved profitable destination for investment. I am sure that this event will attract many more investors and manufacturers to India to come and explore the innumerable opportunities that the country has on offer. I am optimistic that our respective telecom, ICT industries will be in forefront of facilitating the ICT dreams of our citizens. I wholeheartedly wish the India Telecom 2021 a great success. Now I inaugurate the India Telecom 2021 and I wish all of you all the best for it and also wishing for great success of this event. Thank you. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I now introduce Mr. Arun Gupta, Director General TEPC, to give the vote of thanks. Mr. Arun Gupta, DG TEPC, belongs to the 1982 batch of the Indian Telecom Services. After working at various positions in the Department of Telecom for 33 years, he retired on superannuation during September 2017. Mr. Gupta, over to you.
Namaste, Excellencies and dignitaries from various parts of the world, industry captains, esteemed online delegates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Telecom Equipment and Services Export Promotion Council, it's my great privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion of India Telecom 2021. I am delighted and feel humble to propose vote of thanks during India Telecom 2021, our 15th flagship event for mutual benefits and collaborations in technology domain. I would like to thank our Honorable Chief Guest, His Excellency Mr. Sanjay Shamrao Dhotre, Honorable Minister of State for Communications, Education and Electronics and Information Technology, for sparing his valuable time out of his busy schedule for his inaugural address and providing guidance to the industry and the organizers. Excellency has special emphasis on connecting unconnected, connecting all villages, remote and hilly areas in India with optical fiber and other medium like satellite, development of rural and remote areas for inclusive growth. I am grateful to Ms. Anita Praveen, Additional Secretary Telecom, Department of Telecommunications, Government of India. Madam, this event is being hosted under Market Access Initiative Scheme of Government of India and subsidized for participation by startups and industry. We have more than 40 companies and startups participating in this virtual event. We would like to thank you for your encouraging words. I express my hearty gratitude to Mr. Rahul Chabra, Vice Minister, that is Secretary Economic Relations, and his entire team from Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, and all the Indian missions abroad for bringing together the telecom fraternity all across the globe. I would like to thank Mr. Shamal Ghosh, an eminent and able administrator, our immediate past chairman, and inspiration for this event. I would like to thank my chairman, Mr. Sandeep Agrawal, for his kind and able guidance for the event. Excellencies, distinguished CEOs from ICT fraternity, stalwarts of telecom industry, senior government officers, all invited guests, dignitaries, friends from print and digital media, ladies and gentlemen. I express my gratitude to everyone for participation online and offline. I also convey my gratitude to our media partners, Communications Today and ET Telecom, and also other media for wider coverage of the event. Lastly, I would like to thank my entire TPC secretariat, including Ms. Sarbani Das Gupta, Ms. Chinki Vilku, and Mr. Narayan Pandey for working tirelessly for making this event a grand success. I would also like to thank virtual platform providers, MobiPro Innovations and IMC team, and each one associated with this event. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. A big thank you to all the dignitaries. I wish everyone participating in the event all the best, and I'm sure it will achieve the success that it does every year. Thank you.